Hi, Warrior, it's Tramson here, and welcome back to our adventures in the Burning Crusade. Today, we are in Shadowmoon Valley, guys, and we will be starting the Tempest Keep Attunement. I did mess up a little bit. I forgot to turn my mic on.
Have you ever heard of food that
So,
itself and stays hot forever?
I am doing the video sort of over again. It's just I'm not playing right now. I'm just doing a voiceover.
You can find beasts that thrive in the sizzling heat. They're called Felfire Dimetrodons. The dwarves
So here we are picking up a few quests. These aren't linked to the Tempest Keep Attunement, though.
Practically come pre-cooked. Bring me those spleens and I'll give you some coin. Start your search directly east of here.
Let it be known that Zora's
I wasn't really sure what to do. Could have just showed the video without dialogue, but I'm gonna put some dialogue behind it to make it make sense, I guess.
This stronghold. Do not be frightened, as we are truly the invaders here. Alas, they must be destroyed, for their time has long since passed. Destroy the Shadow Moon Harbingers infesting Wildhammer stronghold and return to me.
Our scouts have brought back disturbing reports from the ruined Arakoa encampments in the area. The ghosts of powerful Arakoa magicians wield powers we never thought they possessed. They seem to be organizing as though preparing for something, but our knowledge is limited. We cannot afford to remain ignorant. Travel north to the Skethlon wreckage, to the northwest of the Death Forge, and search for signs of their motives.
Alright, so here we are in front of Earthmender Sulfurus. He is the one who starts the Tempest Keep Attunement, just so you know. And you will pick up the Hand of Gul'dan quest from him. And then after you pick that up, he'll tell you to head up here and speak with Earthmender Torlock. So that's what we are going to do now. We already did the Hand of Gul'dan quest the last time we were here in Shadowmoon Valley. So we're heading over there now to pick up the next quest in the quest chain. And here we are, in front of all of these elementals. It's a decent amount of people questing out here today, trying to get ahead of the game and get their Tempest Keep Attunement completed before Phase 2 comes out. Took a little screenshot there for the thumbnail.
Severed the tie between orcs and the elemental spirits. His unquenchable thirst for power could not be satiated with the complete annihilation of the Draenei. He had to also destroy Draenor, razing the land and siphoning all of its energies for use in his war. Now, all that is left are remnants of his madness. Look to the altar, traveler. The land is forever haunted. We must try and make amends. We must commune with the elements of this region and see if anything can be done. I grant you the Totem of Spirits, traveler. If you slay an enraged elemental spirit in close proximity of the totem, it will consume the elemental's soul. You must use the totem to consume many souls before you may return to me. Do this for the spirits of fire and earth first. Return to me when the totem is full.
Alright, so we're going to start taking down some elementals, and we'll capture their souls within the Totem of Spirits. And there's the Glaive of the Pit. That's the weapon we got from Magtheridon's lair. Does pretty good. Hits stuff pretty hard. I thought I would have to do this attunement on my Warlock, but supposedly all the attunements we do, we only have to do once. So the Karazhan attunement, the Serpent Shrine Cavern attunement, and the Tempest Keep attunement we're currently doing on the Paladin, we won't really have to do on the Warlock at all. And same with the rep grinds. We currently have Cenarian Expedition at Exalted, And I got Honor Hold to Revered, which means we can now do Hellfire Ramparts, Blood Furnace, and Shattered Halls on Heroic. So we're ready for that now. There should be some new Heroic dungeons in the future, guys. Shattered Halls is going to be a tough one, that's for sure. And we also got 43 badges, which means we will be getting a new trinket today that'll help with our threat generation. And we'll be getting the icon of the Silver Crescent, 43 spell power, and as an on use that gives you 155 spell power. So quite a bit of spell power. It's going to increase the damage of our consecration by quite a bit, so that'll help with threat. And then we're also going to be getting a ring eventually from the Cenarian Expedition vendor called Ashen's Gift. Gives 30 stam and some spell power and also spell hit. Pretty nice ring. So some decent upgrades today for threat. I'm debating on whether I should wear the ring though. I think we go to the ring here. Yeah. There it is there. So yeah, 30 stamina, 21 spell hit rating, and 23 spell power. Not bad. Just another item to increase our threat. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to use it because we will be replacing a ring that has defense rating on it. And we still don't have that much defense rating at the moment already with we have 453 or something like that, so it's tough to put it on at the moment. I think we do need the survivability. But the trinket's replacing another trinket that has attack power on use and some crit ratings, so the trinket is a substantial upgrade. And there's been some news going on about boosting, guys. Blizzard keeps on trying to nerf it. I'll read the blue post here. You observed a significant number of Burning Crusade players entering dungeons and then participating in no meaningful gameplay, which is boosting. Often while only one party member plays through the instance. When this is prominent, it can lead to detrimental economic effects, among other concerns. So we're implementing a series of hotfixes to address it. So these are the hotfixes. Players must participate in combat to receive experience from dungeons. The amount of loot dropped by non-boss mobs in high-level dungeons is now determined by how many players participate in the kill. The vast majority of players who participate in dungeon groups, as usual, should see no difference after these updates. So this is kind of interesting, guys. So you can't really gain XP or get loot if you are not participating in the kill. And that has caused a little bit of concern. This has already been implemented this week, so people have been testing it. And supposedly in Karazhan's, say some healers like having a drink like I am right now, and they are not participating in the killing of trash, say like a BOE drops, like an epic BOE, that paladin or the healer would not be able to get it because they didn't participate in the kill. So there is some issues with it, but I'm not too sure if they fixed it, because supposedly if you have buffs on the players who are, fighting the mobs, then you get participation. But that's led into players working their way around the hotfix And the way they work their way around it is through scrolls. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen me use scrolls before, but what scrolls are is they're an item that you can use, and you can put the buff on another player or yourself. Either you can buff armor, strength, stamina, agility, pretty much every stat, spirit as well. There's tons of different types of scrolls. So what people are doing in these boosts, such as like a slave pen's mage run, or a mage AoEs everything in slave pens, and players get XP for it. So what players do to get the experience buff bonus without having to kill the mobs is they put these scrolls on the mage. So they scroll the mage, and then they get XP now. They get rewarded for it. So it's sort of like a workaround for the new hotfix. There's clearly going to be some changes made to circumvent the issues that they're having, but what everybody believes this is for is it's going to be implemented to fight against bots, because they're most likely going to release the WoW token in the near future. That is what people assume. Supposedly there was a little bit of data mining, and they found, being able to sell your WoW token for gold in the data mining that they found. I don't know if this is true, but that's what I've heard. And I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with the WoW token in Phase 2, because it came out in Wrath of the Lich King Classic as well. It started in Warlords of Draenor, the WoW token, and then for the classic version of the game, they released it in Wrath of the Lich King. A lot of people were adamant on the WoW token not being in the game because it just makes the game sort of pay to win. But they've been trying to combat that this time by removing GDKPs, which are GDKP raids, which is where players bid it with gold to buy items that drop from bosses. So those aren't allowed in the anniversary version, which is the current version that we're playing. So we'll see what happens with that. And it might be a good thing. I'm not too sure. We'll see. If they stop the boosting and they get rid of, the botters and all that stuff, then it could be good for the game. Well, it would be good for the game. It's just, everyone's just going to use the WoW token now to buy gold, or to get gold. It'll probably be one of the best ways to do it, right? Because, gold per hour, buying the WoW token is by far the best. It's the best gold farm you can do, even if you are spending a bit of money to do it, because the money you make from a minimum wage job could buy you tons of gold. More than you could farm in 24 hours. So we'll see what happens with that. So this change has also affected some gold farms as well, such as the Stratholme farm that Paladins do. I was going to try to do that on my Paladin, but we'll see what it's like. I'm not going to buy gold right away if they come out with a WoW token. But if the farm that I wanted to do on the Paladin is completely crushed, then I may have to. We'll see. But at least now it's, I guess you could say legal, and I won't lose my character for buying a WoW token. Now, I have bought a WoW token before, back in retail, back in Battle for Azeroth. I bought a few. I'm not like 100% anti-WoW token. I kind of see the WoW token as just a way to combat botting, because it's just going to be in the game regardless. They don't put enough effort into fighting bots and gold selling, in my opinion. And the reason why they don't is because they don't want to put the money into it, because it's kind of like a net loss if they, you know, combat against, you know, botting and gold selling. And what they usually do is they just do ban waves. So they just ban all the bots in like a ban wave every like 3 to 6 months. And then they all, you know, resubscribe or buy the expansion again, and then come back to the game and start farming again. And Blizzard makes money off of that. So they have an incentive to not really get rid of them completely. I think they're just trying to find a way to manage it. And I think this is what they're doing to do it. They're going to get rid of GDKPs, because GDKPs kind of pretty much incentivize people to buy gold. And then they're going to introduce their own WoW token. And they're going to combat against boosting, because they want players to buy their level 58 boosts instead of getting boosted in dungeons by gold sellers. Or people who just want to farm gold, right? Not all people who boost people in slave pens or in vanilla, say, Maradon, are gold sellers. Some people just want to farm gold for their character. And that gets toxic too. Sometimes botters report those people, or gold sellers report those people, because they're taking their gold that they're trying to make off of players that they could sell back to them. But Blizzard's, it's all about making money at the end of the day. So if they get rid of the boosting, more people will buy their boosts. And if they get rid of GDKPs, you know, that is good, right? Most people would say that's a good thing. Even though I kind of enjoy them, they're a fun way to make gold. But I know that they do feed the machine, which is botting and gold selling. So it's good that they're combating against it, sort of. And once they add the WoW token, people will probably just buy the WoW token instead of just buying, you know, gold from gold sellers that could get their account banned for a week or two. And you don't really need that much gold in TBC to raid and do all that stuff. You just need a little bit. The big gold sink is your epic mount. It costs like 6k gold, I think, around there. But if they do release the WoW token, we'll see a lot of people on their epic mount, that's for sure. But yeah, I think that's the plan. They've made this version of the game very, very alt friendly, which promotes people to level other characters. And not everybody wants to level their character from 1, so they're kind of like luring, I would say luring, but they're incentivizing people to purchase, you know, level 58 boosts. Because it's going to be really easy to gear my lock, I think. Like, once I hit 70, I'll be able to get into all the heroics and raids. I won't have to get the attunements for anything or do any rep grinds. So we'll be able to just have quite the power spike as long as we can get into the groups. And we should be able to as a warlock, right? Warlocks are really good at killing trash, and they do a great amount of AoE damage Most raids bring it at least like 5 or 6 if it's a 25-man raid, so we shouldn't have any trouble with that. So I'm looking forward to getting the lock to 70. And how old friendly it is now. You could have like 4 characters depending on how much time you have. But if you have like a group of people that you play with, like a guild, and they don't mind carrying you through for a few weeks, they could really catch you up, and you could pretty much just hit 70, jump into like a 25-man raid like Tempest Keep or SSC or even Karazhan, and just get like decked out in like a few weeks. Pretty cool that they did that. It's a lot. It's about fun this time around. You know what I mean? It's not about, you know, it being close to how it was back in the day. That's what that's what 2019 to I think 2023 or 2024 was all about. It's all about like them trying to make it like how it was back then. Hashtag no changes was a big statement. But now it's just about it being alt-friendly and fun. Which is why they have the post-nerf raids as well. So if you have post-nerf raids, that means a lot of people can get into pugs, and the content isn't as challenging as it normally would be. You don't have to get into a guild or commit yourself to a guild to get through content. But we'll see. We'll see what the next raids are like. Tempest Keep is a pretty tough one. The trash I remember being kind of tough. It hit pretty hard. And SSC can be pretty challenging as well. But Lady Vash, nerfed Lady Vash compared to, you know, pre-nerfed Lady Vash is not even close, so I remember like checking them both out when I was playing on my rogue and my druid, and it's night and day. That boss is a lot easier when it's post nerf. So it's just like, you know, it's just it's more of a fun version this time around. You can play a bunch of alts, try different specs. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. If you're a sweaty player, though, that cares about, like, parses and clear times and stuff, then I think they wouldn't like it. Because there's always that, like, you know, thing in the back of your head, like, this is post-nerfed. It's not like how it was back then, you know what I mean? Some people really appreciate being pre-nerfed. So they can say they beat it at the hardest difficulty, or how it was back in the day. I think that's why we see a lot of people just raid logging once they get to a certain point. We're close to raid logging on this Paladin. Getting close. We have this attunement to complete. And then we just have to hopefully find a group every week to just tank for. But we're not really there yet. Our gear isn't that great. We still have to get 490 defense rating. I have to replace all of the PvP gear that we got. So I wouldn't say we're at raid logging yet, but we're going to be farming the raids every week, so we will get there eventually. And I believe Tempest Keep and SSC will phase 2. The TBC will probably see that come out in early May. Kind of shocked that we haven't seen or heard any updates on the release date for phase 2. And it makes you wonder if if the sped up game or the sped up timeline is really real, right? Like I assume they would have phase 2 out this month. But maybe it's a little bit, they're delaying it a little bit, giving people a little bit more time, because why not? Right? There's no rush. And I've noticed players who have who are currently raid logging, they just play other games or just other versions of WoW. See a lot of people giving retail a try. Hardcore's making a comeback somewhat. There's like a season of discovery movement going on. There's a lot going on in classic WoW. It's pretty cool. Good time to be playing the game. There's like this hardcore movement where there's like, I think it's like race based. It's like you can only raid with your race. It's kind of interesting. I'm mostly focused on TBC at the moment, and also leveling up my warlock in Midnight. I've enjoyed the Midnight story so far. It's not bad. I've enjoyed checking out the new zones. Zul'Amon's was pretty cool. Looking forward to doing ZA, Zul'Amon in TBC. It's going to be a lot of fun. Try to get them out again. And yeah, I was looking at this boss here. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I was wondering if those Horde guys were going to fight him. Saruk the Fire Lord, the Dirge of Karabor. I was enjoying this zone. I was kind of just taking it all in while doing the quest. I wasn't really in a hurry to kill all of these fire spirits, but we eventually get them down. There we go. Quite a few here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to TBC. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know the channel's doesn't really like retail too much, but I'm going to at least finish the story. I always do that with the new expansion. I always check out the leveling story and get a character to max level. I'll probably do a little bit of end game, but mostly going to be focusing on the warlock soon. Especially once we get this paladin in like a raid log situation where you don't really need any badge gear anymore and our reps are done. We also have to get Aldor rep as well. There's a lot of grinding to still do on the paladin. We have our Serpent Shrine Cavern raid attunement completed. We did that last episode. Just have to get Tempest Keep now. I'll probably keep doing Shadow Moon Valley quest as well because the attunement for Black Temple is also in Shadow Moon Valley. That's my favorite raid in all of TBC is Black Temple. Looking forward to that one. And I'm going to try to do the raids on both the Warlock and the Paladin. The Warlock's going to be my main though, because I said I would kill Jaden on the Warlock. But I'm going to try to kill all the bosses on the Paladin as well. I mainly leveled this character to farm gold, to be honest. I wanted a gold farming character for Stratholme, and I knew that if I wanted my Warlock to be decent, I needed a decent gold farming character, so that's what this Paladin was. But they nerfed the Stratholme farm by around... Supposedly people are making 10 to 20% less gold. And what you do in the Stratholme farm, you stack spell power. So your Consecration does a bunch of damage. You try to get as much defense rating and armor and stamina as you can. And you just pull a bunch of mobs in Stratholme. It's called a raw gold farm. And what a raw gold farm is you just loot all the mobs, and then you sell the junk and whatever else you get to the auction house. But it's mostly junk, which is why they call it a raw gold farm. And you just sell the junk and you get gold, a bunch of gold in your bags. Supposedly people make 250 gold an hour. It's probably down to like 200 now, I would assume, after the changes that Blizzard made this week. There's also a black morass farm that Paladins do. That's the dungeon in the Caverns of Time. And what they do is they just go into that dungeon and farm all the mobs. It's good if you have skinning for it as well. You can skin all the mobs in there. And those dungeon farms seem to be the most popular ones. The ones that people can go into, you know, dungeons without having to compete with other players out in the open world. And also bots. You know, bots are a pain to compete with as well. And Paladins have a few farms like that that are pretty good. Rogue also has a good one. In Mana Tombs, I used to do it the last time I played TBC. You need mining for it, and you just probably talked about it already. I know I did. Probably when we were doing Man Tombs. We just go into Man Tombs, and you mine the adamantite ore there. And then you get a chance at gems and all that. That sell for like hundreds of gold. You don't always get ore in there, but as a rogue, you can just go through it quick and then reset it and then try again. But most of the time, you find some ore. You have to fight mobs, though, while you're doing it, which can be a challenge. But as the phases go on, it gets easier and easier with gear.
Speak, friend, for the Horde. When all of the elemental souls of this region have been
So that
placed inside
farm
the
won't be
totem,
nerfed.
we will commune with them.
It's probably the
Find
only one
out
that didn't
if
get
anything can
nerfed.
be done for Shadowmoon Valley. The Illidari Naga of the region have taken control of the only clean water supply that exists in Shadowmoon Valley. Directly north of here, you will find the lair of the Naga, Coilscar. Around Coilscar are pockets of agitated water that howl to the land in anguish. It is at those pockets that the enraged spirits of water now wander. Travel the Coilscar and use the
Yeah,
Totem
I'm
of
also
Spirits
behind
to capture
myself.
watery
I'm in front of
souls.
myself right
You
now.
will find the largest concentration
On the
of
camera.
these spirits near Coilscar's cistern.
Now we are off to consume the water elementals. Yeah, we have to get their souls, the totem of spirits, and then we have to get the air elementals after this. Tried to finish all the elemental quests today. There's still so many more quests to do, though. It's a pretty long quest chain. But we'll get it done. I'll probably do it on the channel. The Paladin's kind of like that. He does all the dirty work for the Warlock. Gets all the reps and attunements, gold. That was the goal of the Paladin. And then the Warlock has kind of just a chill time. I was surprised. I've seen so many Horde today. No one ganked me. Everyone was just focused on getting their attunement done. There wasn't too many people out here as well. I assume once the phase comes out, it'll get kind of busy, but we'll see. But if they do come out with a token, I might buy one, because why not? I'm not a fan of gold farming either. I think they know that a lot of people don't like farming gold. Right? That's obvious. If they're going out of their way to like risk their account or risk getting banned to buy gold, clearly there's a lot of people that don't enjoy farming gold. I don't buy gold though, unless it's from a WoW token, because it's just not worth the risk. Getting banned for like 2 weeks, maybe a month, you never know. You never get perma-banned though. I've never heard of someone getting perma-banned from buying gold. It's usually just like a you get thrown in the penalty box or a little timeout for a bit, for a few weeks or a month. And I ran into like a scryer area here. I think it's after this. And they were attacking me. I need to get my rep up with Aldor, so we can get the shoulder enchant. Need to get exalted. And you have to get marks of Sargeras or marks of Kil'jaeden, and you have to turn them in. You can also purchase them from the auction house, which will be another thing that'll happen. People will buy the token, or they're probably already doing it. Buy gold, and then they just buy all the marks, and then boom. You got your Aldor rep 2 exalted, and you can get the... You can get the good old shoulder enchant. It gets easier though. There will be more and more out there, especially when these new raids come out. Well, not new, but when Phase 2 comes out, because I think you can farm marks inside of those raids. Eventually, guilds stockpile them. I remember on my rogue, I think our guild had a bunch of them, and they just gave them to me last time. They just took me up with some, and I just got my Aldor rep that way. But I have a feeling we might see the token Phase 2. We'll see the WoW token this expansion within this year, I believe. The writing's on the wall.
What do you need? Be safe. Only air remains, adventurer. Venture southeast, hero. When you see fields of gigantic...
They couldn't put it out in vanilla though. They didn't want to deal with the vanilla enthusiasts. That's a different breed. Don't mess with vanilla. They probably think they can do it with TBC though. And they probably can.
Return to me when this is done.
But there would be an uproar if they had a WoW token in vanilla. I don't even know if there is like there are TBC enthusiasts. There's people who really enjoy TBC Arena. Looks like I was looking up something here. I think I was looking up to see if you can get, if you can share, if attunements to raids are account bound, and they are. So I was wondering if I could do that on my warlock. Looks like you can. I fight these Eclipsean Cavaliers, and they beat the crap out of me. I didn't have enough mana to stun him. I get enough mana there, but he gets the heal off, and that was when I seen this patrol coming, and I'm like, you know, we're just gonna run away. I was going to lay on hands, but didn't really want to use it. So I wanted to see if we could get away first, and we could. And TBC is such a chill expansion. Like, it's so easy to get mage food and water. Like, these mana cakes, like, you can join a BG or any dungeon group I join usually has a mage in it. And I just get like 80 water, and you can just play for the rest of the day. Or until you see another mage. Give you more mana cakes. It's so much more of a pain getting water and food from a mage in vanilla, and it's because it's more of a pain to, like, I'd say a pain. It just takes, it's more clicks, right, to like make all the water and stuff like that. It's the same thing with you know, summoning. You know, there isn't really any summoning stones in vanilla, so summoning becomes a little bit harder as well. You need a warlock. I was just running around here, just checking stuff out. Trying to figure out where the heck we go to find the air elementals. And I would push ahead, but I can't really... I have my recording set up where if it crashes, I don't lose the recording. Did this a long time ago. And if I do that, I can't, like, control... Like, I can't, like, go ahead and back in the video. Unless I put the video into some editing software. But the benefit is to say, like, there's a power outage, I won't lose the footage. The footage will just end, and it'll save, like, from where I left off. It's like your footage just pretty much won't get corrupted. I forget how I did it, but I probably would skip ahead in this, like, this part, I guess. I don't know. We just kill the the air elementals and stuff like that. I was wondering if I should do that for some videos, just skip ahead of some quests, but I do like to show the entire journey as much as I can. I think some people appreciate that. But there is a lot of things you can skip. Like, I could just say, okay, like, kill one of these mobs, do a week, like, you know, show how the quest is done, and then skip to turning it in. Okay, just go to the quest giver now and say, okay, we killed those. But sometimes fun stuff happens in the open world, right? But you could always just skip to that part too. It'd be cool to do a playthrough like that. That's more, just edit it a bit more. This was a pretty long episode. It's around an hour. just over an hour. You're like the only one out here. There's a few other players. But it's good we're getting this done now. And doing this on the Paladin, it's better, I think, than like leveling or questing here as the Warlock. We'll be missing our casts. Like these mobs are level, what, 69? We'll probably try to be here like 68 or 67. So at 70, we can actually do this zone without like any hit issues or anything like that. And I'll just go to some different zones that we didn't really quest in on the Warlock. I think that'll be the plan. Probably won't dungeon farm as hard. Unless the rep's worth it, maybe we'll do it. There's like some nice loot. We'll farm some dungeons a little bit more than others. I didn't really quest as much in Terracar Forest on the Paladin, so maybe we'll do more of that on the Warlock. Did a lot of Nagrand on the Paladin. Maybe we'll check out more Blade's Edge Mound on the Warlock. Didn't really check that out as much on the Paladin. Did a lot of Zanger Marsh on the Paladin, though. Maybe we'll do a little less Zanger Marsh this time on the Warlock. But we will be going out to Outland, guys. We probably... They're pretty much already out there. Or pretty close. I had to do a few Warlock quests, though, before we left. Because I was a little bit behind. Got a trinket that allows me to summon a Void Walker without using any mana or a Soul Stone, which is nice. Pretty cool trinket. So I wanted to get that. Probably back to Sunken Temple to complete it. Go a few more to go. And then we'll go get our trinket, guys. Looking forward to raids this week. Well, hopefully we get some nice loot. Yeah, it looks like I'm talking about the trinket here. Or maybe it's a helmet. Talking about the other items we can get. There's the shield. We can get that also with badges. Pretty nice shield. Yuzure, Shield of Koldar, 31 stamp, 22 defense rating. Has some block rating on it as well. And then there's a helmet we can get as well. The face guard of determination. 36 stam, 32 defense rating, 24 dodge rating, 24 shield block. That would be a pretty big upgrade, but I'm hoping that we can do Karazhan and get the Karazhan helmet, or get a shield in Karazhan, or get the shield from Gruul's Lair. And there's Bloodlust Brooch, really nice for Ret Paladin, 72 attack power, and then has a non-use that gives you 278 attack power. I'm going to try to get a ret set going, because if we end up off-tanking a lot, then we'll probably need a ret set for the boss fights where you know, you only need one tank. Couldn't really do that the last time in TBC. Which makes raiding even easier, right? Because you can kind of change your specs. You know, multiple classes can change their specs based on what they're fighting. Right? Like, say you're in a fight that maybe one extra healer would make it a lot easier and allow you to defeat it. You can easily do that now with dual spec. You know, like I could have a Holy Paladin set. Or an Elemental Shaman could have a Resto Shaman set, or the Shadow Priest could have a Holy Priest set, or Dis Priest set. Spec or whatever. Couldn't really do that back in like the old 07 and also back in 2021, 2022. And there we go. We got our air spirits completed. We got their souls, and now we're bringing them back. And we're getting pretty close to the Cipher of Damnation quest chain. It's quite a long quest chain to unlock Tempest Keep. Much longer than the, Serpent Shrine Cavern raid. Or Attunement. Lucky we didn't get dismounted there. That would have sucked. I would have been pissed off. I hate getting dismounted. It's like one of the worst things in WoW. Pretty much forced to fight. Checking out the skybox there. They did a great job with the skyboxes in TBC. This guy follows us. This mob follows us all the way down to the quest giver.
Magraw, may your blades never allow me to reward.
We take the blade shoulders.
Such an arduous task,
21 strength, 21 agi, 31 stam.
So that I may
Not bad.
They
were just worth the most gold.
I do not know how we can acquire the spell that the spirits mentioned, Adventurer. Truth be told, I don't even know where we would start such a search. It is a long shot, but it might be our only chance. There is an orc that I have seen visit this area before. I spoke to him briefly once. He is a hermit that claims to live above Coilscar Cistern to the northeast. Seek out this orc Oranok Tworenhart. As I said, it is a long shot.
You're right, Spirit. It was my people that did this to you. Allow us to make it right. And there we go. Gotta head north and see Oronok Tornheart to continue the quest chain for Tempest Keep Attunement. Now we're heading back to Shatrath. And we're going to get our trinket. Yeah, we're at 1,500 gold. Across all our characters, not too bad. I've done a little bit of questing and to make a bit of gold. I mean, like 100 to 200 gold from just out open world questing in Terracar Forest. Good old bubble jump. And there's the vendor, guys. Garrus. The badge vendor. And there's our trinket. Icon of the Silver Crescent. And there we go, we got it. Now we're going to make our way to the Cenarian Expedition and get Ashland's gift. And I'm probably going to use this trinket, the Crescent trinket, for ret and tanking. Don't really have two good ret trinkets anyways.
Remember the lessons of the past.
There we go. That was 41 badges for that trinket. Now we're just setting up our item rack here. Still need a we need a defensive trinket on the tank. Defensive trinket kind of sucks. We just need to replace the PvP gear and a few other pieces as well. There's Ashen's gift. 30 stamp, 21 hit rating, 23 spell power. 63 gold to buy it, so a little bit of a gold sink there. But we've been doing a lot of slave pens runs. Like I've been doing them every day. They can get a little bit toxic though. One thing I've learned about the slave pen skip runs, don't follow mages. Every time somebody follows a mage in a slave pen skip run, they end up dying. Because the mage, it gets close, right? The mage is about to pull, he just blinks. And then you can't do that. So, it's a little bit of a pain when that happens. I just kind of hope mages would just chill out. Not try to like thread the needle too much. But mages are going to be mages, right? They have fun doing that, right? So you don't want to ruin their fun, I guess. It's just people follow them. I see it all the time. But the cool thing is you don't have to do slave pens runs forever, right? You can always do other dungeons or just you won't really need to get badges. I think on the Paladin though we'll always be trying to get badges for a while because I also need gear for ret as well. And holy too if we want to do healing. There he is, the quartermaster. Let me check out a few pieces here. Some of the new pieces we've unlocked. There's the ring we want to buy. There's also the Wind Caller's orb for healers. 16 intellect, 12 spirit, 64 healing power. And then there's this Earth Warden two-handed mace for druids. It gives 712 attack power while in cat, bear, or dire bear form. Not bad for feral druids. No one else would want that, though. We wouldn't want that on the Paladin. It does like 65.8 damage per second. And there we go. We got the ring. Nice. And our gear score is at 1,528. Not too bad. It's gone up by like 20, maybe 23. Just looking at the gear here. And there we go, guys. That is going to be the end of today's episode. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.